from Gary Vestal. Gary?
Thank you very much. Today I think I found a very interesting program for us today. It's in our own town that some of you might not even know exists. And that's a shame, and we're going to change that today. We have Drew Emory and Matt Collier, and they own and operate the Gilmer Brewing Company, and which is a newly established business that is 9-10 months old. And I wanted to kind of know what they do, how they do it, how they come up with their theme. And I think it'll be an interesting program for you. And if you would, come on up. Miss Ruthie, I know you're going I didn't build it up too much.
We're going to wing this just like we do everything else, so bear with us. I'm not Collier.
Drew Emory.
My name's Ruth Emory.
And
Jackson?
yeah.
My wife Jackson couldn't be here today. She had to work.
So yeah, we didn't really have a speech or anything, but so Gilmer alumni 2000 right here. Who would have thought that we would have beer sales in Gilmer? We went a step further. We have a brewery in Gilmer, right? So, yeah, come down and check us out. Friday, 5 to 9, or 5 to 10, and Saturday, 5 to 10 as well. Come visit us, see what you think. We're family friendly. We got kids corner, we got music and drinks and food. And
You have different kind of beer?
We have 6 on tap currently. So we're working on a special one for the Emory.
So this is a craft brewery?
Yes, sir. It's all small batch. It's all made in the building, a barrel at a time right now, which is probably going to change. So yeah.
With Emory coming up, we gotta.
yeah, we can barely keep up at the moment, so which is a good thing.
You have names for the beer? Maybe Buckeye beer?
Yep.
We actually
Yeah,
do. We actually do,
Oh,
yes.
Rick will be proud about this.
All of our names are kind of with the history of Gilmer and how Gilmer started, so we tried to go with that theme.
So what are some of the names?
And we have the Peacemaker, which is a Pilsner, and the Peacemaker was the name of the cannon that,
Ken that blew up, killed the guy Thomas Gilmer.
and Abel
And
Escher.
Upshur, yes. So historical value there.
Buckeye Blonde,
Blonde.
because it
Yeah.
it just sounded good
Sounds
too.
good. You got Pritchard Fog, that's where we live. What else? Shrapnel, you know.
Another kickback to the cannon explosion.
Yes.
Big Wood Stout, which moonshiners used to run back in the woods of Grice. They call it the Big Woods. And then our newest addition is the Upshur Amber. And that one actually got named through a Facebook competition.
And we were working on a special one for the Emory, so look forward to that.
It does have sweet
How'd
potato.
you know?
He's not the mayor for no reason.
Excellent. I guess.
Does anybody have any questions?
You also have food, you said, what kind of foods do you have?
We do.
We have a rotating specials menu. It's something different every Friday and Saturday. We make our own salsa and our own beer cheese in-house. We always have chips and salsa, chips and beer cheese available. And then there's a rotating special for the weekend. We had a bigger menu, but it got to a point where it was way too much hassle. We couldn't focus on the quality of the product and the quality of the customer service that we wanted to provide at the brewery, so we decided to pare down our food menu to concentrate more on the other things.
And we needed more room in the back
Yeah.
to bring in more.
So, without getting into your proprietary information, what are the basic ingredients of beer? And do you have to buy those somewhere else? And then how do you manage to change the flavors?
Okay, that's a Complicated question. So we buy bulk grain in the U.S. It's actually out of Minnesota, I believe. And you take grain, hops, yeast, and water, and it's a fermentation process that takes between 2 weeks and 2 months, depending on the style. And you can interchange different hops, you can interchange different yeast to get different flavors. You can also do stuff like, hey, let's throw sweet potatoes in here.
That was
So, right. So you can do all those things to get different flavors and different styles. So, that's the quick rundown.
Do you give Gilmer water? Do you advertise that as being part of the good part of your?
No. It's actually,
We actually run the water through a reverse osmosis system because you have to start with basically pure water.
Yeah.
And then you adjust your water chemistry based on the kind of beer you're making. So you pull out the certain flavors that you want.
we had to buy a $1,000 water filter to filter this water. It's
A
not
lot of chlorine.
a lot of stuff that's not conducive for brewing. But you'll see a lot of guys that do home brewing at the house, and they'll say, man, I don't know what's wrong with this. Why is this not coming out right? It's got this funk flavor. Well, are you using water out the tap? Yeah.
It just has to, it's like
You gotta start from
Clean
zero. You gotta
slate.
clean the water out. It's gotta start at zero, and then you add minerals to the water, depending on what you're trying to do. So
What's the capacity of the junk you make?
right now, our batches are roughly 33 gallons at a time, and we have 6 vessels. So that's the current capacity, which is we're barely
Not
keeping
enough.
up.
But
So-
that's all over extended length of time.
Correct. It's variable, depending on the beer, between 2 weeks and 2 months. So we're constantly rotating out.
Do you have to have anybody there? What happens during the week? Is it sit there and cook itself or do it?
That's right.
Well, we hope it doesn't cook itself. It's got to stay at a very
It's very
cool temperature.
Yeah, the back room is at 68 degrees all the time.
The actual brewing process takes about 6 or 7 hours. And then the fermentation process is what takes 2 weeks to 2 months, depending on. That's a self-sustaining deal. Once it starts, it does its thing. They're airtight vessels, but well, not totally. They won't let air in, they will then air out. So you don't get contaminants in there, wild yeast, or any other kind of buggies you don't want.
Any other?
How did y'all get into brewing?
Okay. About 10 years ago, my wife's mom taught me. She makes beer and wine, and she's been doing it about like 40 years.
Yeah.
And she's very good at it. So she taught me, thought it was amazing. So just kept doing it and doing it. And then one day I'm like, let's just open a brewery, see what happens. Here we are, 9 months into it. So,
You think you're gonna be successful here and be able to stay?
so far it's been pretty good. Of course, there's always ups and downs, but overall it averages out pretty good.
And the city and the county as a whole have been very supportive on the political side and on the municipal side. We haven't had any kickback or any resistance really from the local governments, and that makes it a lot easier to successfully maintain business when you have, open communication and very easy dealings with those kind of people. Because the state makes things hard enough. It's nice when locally it's very smooth. We appreciate that very much.
Yes.
And the support of the community.
You said you have music, is it live music?
Yes.
Do you have a band every week?
From 7 to 9, on both Friday and Saturday nights, we have, try to make it local artists come in, acoustic, pretty much, we don't want it too loud and, overwhelming, but on a one-off random, we've had maybe 2 nights since we've been open that we haven't been able to book anybody or somebody had to, cancel or something, but we try to really make that a good,
Yeah.
just a different, the ambiance of the live acoustic music is pretty cool.
And you said you're kid-friendly, so what does that mean
Yes.
exactly?
Bring your kids.
Yeah.
We've got a chalkboard, got games, we've got,
We're not a bar.
it's not we really wanted to open a place because we have 5 kids between the 2 of our, the 4 of us, and so we needed to make sure that we could bring our kids, which I sometimes try not to because running a little wild in there, but, you know, we wanted to make a place where people could come and enjoy a beer or a tea or a soda or something and be able to bring your kids with you and, you know, let them come
Not
out
to
with
worry
you.
about getting a babysitter.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're welcome to get a babysitter and come out. Either way.
Either
So
way.
you do have high chairs.
Yes.
Yes.
And booster seats.
Booster seats, high chairs.
That's important for me, right?
We are doing a stand-up comedy night next month also, which is gonna be something new we're trying. It'll be August 2nd. That's, that'll be the night there's no live music, but
Dude, we got some real winners on it too. I bet you guys know some of them.
Boo, one of those, Boo coming?
Yes, yes, that's right. It's gonna be good. I've already heard some of the preview jokes. It's gonna be great. So look forward to that one.
yes.
What's involved with growlers, bottling, or?
Okay. This has been a major question we've gotten since we opened. Until this September 1st, as a production brewery, which is what our license is through the state, you cannot sell beer off-premise unless you're going through a distributor to a restaurant or a gas station or a store. Starting September 1st, we will be able to sell directly to the consumer to take home a sealed container to go. We're probably going to do cans. We're not really set up to do growlers. It takes a lot of special piping and special taps to do that kind of stuff. We're just not really to that point yet. We may eventually switch over to where we're set up for that. Right now, we think canning is going to be our best option. Plus, it'll also get us into the distribution side of things. So hopefully, after September 1st, you'll be able to come in and get you something to take home with you. Up to a case a day, a person is what the deal is.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Please don't everybody come in and buy a case.
Okay, fulfill that.
And then we're also looking at doing self-distribution also. We're looking at getting some of the smaller places around here, some restaurants around here.
For the untrained, what is a growler?
It's a big glass jug, or
64
metal
ounces.
jug. Yeah.
Typically 64 ounces. We
Just a small.
go to a brewery and you fill those up. And it's got a cap. It keeps the carbonation inside. And take it home with you.
Okay.
Very popular in the craft beer industry.
Because a lot of places you can't get it anywhere but the location. So if you want to take home some or take some to share it with somebody else.
And I think the appeal to that is the fact that you go to a beer store and you buy a case of beer, it's probably months and months old. Whereas you get a growler, it's fresh right out the tap. So that's probably the appeal of that. But, yeah.
So is the alcohol content higher?
Depends on the beer. They're all different. So
They are higher than typical, like,
it's higher than
you know.
Coors Light, let's
Yeah.
say that.
Okay.
But
So
We
like
can't
your
sell
body-
anything under 5.2%.
We have
Everything we have is
parameters.
over 5.2%. That will also change in a couple of years with this new TABC reform act that's going on now.
What's the process of measuring the alcohol content?
well, you take a reading when you initially brew the beer. You take a reading, a sugar reading. You take that number, write it down, and then when it's done fermenting, you take a reading again and it gives you what sugar's left.
it's with a hydrometer, not.
It's a hydrometer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you take those numbers and that'll give you the value of the alcohol.
There's a mathematical equation that does it.
Right.
You don't shake it, look at the bubbles like you do on YouTube.
Well, you could.
I don't know, it could be all over the board. We try to stay super consistent
I
with
usually
our
just
product.
taste it and guess.
Yeah.
The thing is, the state makes us do all this
We have to
stuff.
keep records of all
We have
of
to- Yeah, it's a big hassle, but it's part of the process. So,
And it covers us too in the event that something goes wrong. Like we know that this is the product that we're putting out.
yes. So, yes.
Just a suggestion, getting started and everything, I paid very close attention to your marketing. I remember a brewery that I saw one time had this big, huge sign right outside their brewery facility, and it said, Potosi beer, made with pure Wisconsin spring water. And right under the sign was a herd of Guernseys. So, Guernsey cows. So it kind of, the one kind of negated the other, but it's funny how that kind of a situation will give to the reader or to the potential customer an entirely different impression than what you thought.
Right.
Right. a good idea. Yeah, we definitely want to step up the advertising game, so
Yeah.
I need to take that one into account.
No doubt.
Yeah, no cow wire. We don't want that.
So what's the most popular?
Flavor up here right now? Flavor, is that a thing?
Currently, the Upshur Amber came out the most recent, and it's been wildly popular, dominating sales.
That's double anything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Used to be the Buckeye Blonde, but the Amber has been wildly popular.
I was in there at a birthday party and the lady told me, she said, I'll try one of these Pritchett Fox. I said, but the limit's two.
That's right.
Well, after I had one, I knew why.
Yeah. He's the reason there's a limit on
That may be the reason there's a limit on that.
When we were testing our batches, it was like, that third one shouldn't have happened. Yeah.
That Pritchett Fog is overrated. You gotta be careful with that one.
But we try to watch our customers super well and just read them and, try to see, so we're trying to,
Absolutely, that's important safety of the customers. So we keep an eye on that as well.
Your background in the brewery at all other than the fact that your mother-in-law made beer. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
So your background is not in brewery or anything?
No, we
No,
love breweries,
that's just-
so we've always loved breweries.
Yeah, I love going. Anytime I go out of state, I get a chance to go to the brewery. I love going. It's just like a hobby, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Uh,
I grew up around it my whole life, so that was just kind of, when we got married right in the Civic Center right here 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So when that happened and Mom taught him how to make his first batch, it was like,
yeah, I got hooked, so.
And we've been doing it friends for about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And I've just kind of picked up a little bit here and there,
Yeah.
hanging out, watching him, and then we decided to do this, and it was a crash course, and all right, let's learn how to do it right, so.
Yeah, for sure. Any others?
Any more questions? Y'all like?
One final question. What temperature do you serve out of the tap? And also, does anybody ever use like a frosted mug or yard loaf, things like that?
Frosted mugs actually are not good for the flavor of certain kinds of beer. They kill the aromas. We serve everything between 36 and 39 degrees, I think is what our kegerator runs at.
It's going to be roughly 36, 37 degrees usually. And yeah, we don't plan on introducing the frosted mugs yet.
we do a glass pint glass.
Yeah, glass pints.
Unless we're doing an outdoor event, then we do all
Plastics
plastics. We don't want to do
and stuff. Which we did we had a July 4th party. I don't know if you guys noticed that. We had an outside event. And we roped off, what is that, Henderson Street. And it was great. Had a great time. It was very hot,
Oh, yeah.
but it was great. So,
All right, we appreciate that. Thank you very much.